A turning point in the life of Fred Black was the Earth Day in 2007, which was 15 years ago. With friends, he traveled to Sydney and enjoyed the silhouette of the Sydney Opera House when suddenly the illumination was switched off. Thanks to the darkness, he was able to see the stars again. That was the moment when he proclaimed, "Shadow I like." Life has become so bright in the last 2 decades. The enthusiasm for LEDs has led to a brighter world, inside and outside. During the evening, the street lighting outside Fred's apartment created more light in his apartment than his own luminaires did inside. For Fred, modern street lights were more a technical exposition of state-of-the-art LEDs technology than a progress in lighting quality. The glare these street lights produced reminded him of the early gas street lights. Luckily, Fred had bought some special anti-glare glasses. They dimmed the glare zones comfortably. With ever-increasing LED light around him, Fred asked himself, what will happen if we lose our shadow? He found a fascinating book called The Secret of the Shadow from 2002, Frankfurt Architecture Museum. People had forgotten the wisdom brought through this exhibition after LEDs had taken over. Fred had started to study social sciences when he first met Sonia, a student of lighting design. When Sonia opened the door of her apartment, Fred was almost blinded. She turned into a silhouette when she wanted to give Fred a kiss. That was the moment where Fred decided his life needed a change. On the internet, Fred found a master's degree in shadow design and developed a shadow tape to eliminate excessive lighting. It became a powerful tool to create more visual comfort by deleting all rays of light which created spill light. In his first term at Frankfurt University, Fred invented a new tool to measure shadow called the noctometer, not luxmeter. If he stepped into a brighter environment, his noctometer instantly displayed that he was entering a very difficult zone, probably a future field for his work. As part of his theoretical background for his thesis, Fred worked out and wrote his first shadow manifest. He proclaimed, "Shadow will help to enhance sleep and life quality. Shadow brings silence, which the world needs in a data-flowing environment. Shadow is more." One of Fred's first assignments in his course for a shadow designer was to convince his neighbors to reduce the light emission on the outside by installing sensors. It was a hard struggle for Fred to convince his neighbors, as most of them were very proud of their new LED facade illumination. During the course of time, however, Fred proved that this was successful. The most thought-provoking course for Fred at university was a seminar with George Barnard, who explained, light at night may increase the risk for breast cancer, posing to become a serious problem in industrialized countries. In developing countries, which do not have a prevalence of electric light, breast cancer rates are up to 5 times lower, he added. After Fred had completed his first semester in 2011, the film The Ziggy Dark inspired him and his student teammates. Worldwide, groups started to reduce lighting in the outdoor environment to enjoy the beauty of the night. During his last semester in 2016, Fred accompanied his professor on a study trip to the USA. When he set his foot on New York Times Square, it felt like a whiteout, the feeling many ski fans have and that rolled Amazon encountered on his trip to the South and North Pole. Lost in white, all facades brightly emanate LED light. When Fred restored to his hotel room at Times Square that night, there was no need to switch on the light in his bathroom, even when he drew the blinds at the window. Many electronic devices were equipped with a signal light. After his USA trip, Fred returned to Europe and drove to the mountains where he was a witness of another luminous trend, which had been steadily growing since the innovation of an LED envelope suit for snowboarders in 2002 in the spring. Snowboarders had become a light source. Whereas outside on the ski slopes the suits glowed, it became an ever-increasing fashion trend in clubs to wear LED costumes. With cool apps, hip people automatically tuned the color of their costumes according to the party theme and to the music. Fred felt very lonely at these parties as he wore classical textile fashion. From time to time, his girlfriend Sonia needled him a little bit with her LED dress. A new legislation in 2020 caused a major change in society. The Dark Sky Society and other NGOs for sustainability succeeded in restriction codes for light emission in public spaces. Owners of buildings had to pay astronomical fees if they produced light emission on neighboring grounds and public spaces. Around the same time, blind dining restaurants became very popular. They achieved about the same popularity as Starbucks. Cooks played with the delicious contrast of light cuisine in a dark room. This was the second most important moment for Fred in his life, asking Sonia to marry him. As an engagement ring, Fred could have placed a white diamond on Sonia's finger. However, at Tiffany's, he chose a ring from the latest collection, which they had launched for the new shadow trend, the black diamond. The uniformity and color saturation of the midnight black diamond was overwhelming for Sonia. As a very special surprise, Fred organized her honeymoon trip. He had dreamt of traveling to Sky Village in the scenic mountains of Arizona for many years. This resort, very popular with hobby astronomers, had been world famous for decades as the best place to observe the night sky. Finally, in 2022, Fred was elected president of the Nocturnal Society and organized the first Nocturnale in Heidelberg to celebrate the beauty of the night with shadow. The FAZ feuilleton critic concluded, the Nocturnale will move beyond being a trendy event for art-goers and wannabe eco-chic friends. Thank you, Robin, for the illustrations. Good night.